Good morning, everybody. It's kilzhot from 99 Sports, and we are getting ready for a little bit of college football, 11 a.m. It's going to be a very interesting lineup today. So I see a couple people actually popping in. You know it is going to be a kind of a snooze alert whenever you look and you see Toledo as part of the thumbnail. Yes, we are going to talk about Toledo. This is one of the days of point spreads that is the most unbalanced I've seen in a long, long time. Maybe not since the days of Spurrier and Bobby Bowden and those guys trying to run up scores. There's some big, big point spreads today, so we're going to talk a little bit about those. This is going to test your faith as a true college football fan, because if you're watching all these games today, you love college football, because some of them I don't even think are going to be in the neighborhood, in the atmosphere. So I see Chip Smith in the house. What's up, Deathclaw? Good to see you. He's go Toledo. And Hodge, thanks for being here as well. Appreciate you guys popping in. So we're going to go through a few of the games, talk about what's in store. I don't think there's going to be one or two upsets, maybe. We'll talk about one or two potential upsets, and I know a few people will jump in here and catch the playback as well. So we're going to let a couple more people hop in here, and let's see if I get a couple messages here. People might be watching the playback on this. All right, let's get right into it. Looks like a few people might be joining us a little bit late. Deathclaw, you are waiting for Toledo to jump in here? You know, maybe they play them tough. I'm not sure. I'm going to have to look at this game in a little greater detail. So we'll start out with the top 25, and early on, 12 o'clock, kicking off the slate here. What's up, Tommy? Thanks for popping in. You were just in time to talk about Ohio State. 40.5 against UNLV. You know what? I think UNLV keeps it reasonable. I think UNLV scores 21. And if they score 21, Ohio State scores 56, I think UNLV will cover the spread against Ohio State. Next game up, we'll talk about North Carolina State at Florida State. Interesting game here. The Wolfpack 2-1 going into Florida State. Florida State 0-1. Florida State 10.5-point favorite. Oh, it's a lot, Tommy. I mean, 40.5, that is a lot of points. Florida State 10.5. Once again, there's another one. Closer than the experts think. Florida State by a touchdown. I'm taking all these big point spreads. They're so mismatched today. I'm going to take the points. Louisville, 42.5 to Kent State. The half a point once again. Louisville, this is going to be a stats game for Lamar Jackson. Time to run it up a little bit. Let's say Louisville covers. I'll give the points on that. I'll say Louisville by somewhere in the 50s. See, I got you, Tommy. Tommy's the same way. Tommy's Florida State by 6, so he's saying North Carolina State plays them tough. A lot of these are trick games as well, too, because they're going to be half a point over the touchdown. So, for example, Louisville might stand to reason they win by 42. The extra half a point is going to throw some people off and keep people with Kent State. I say it's a blowout. Virginia Tech 28.5 against ODU. In-state rivals. Old Dominion 2-1. Virginia Tech 3-0. Sorry, Ann. Once again, I'm taking Old Dominion plus the 28.5. The thing about this, if it dropped to 27, 27.5, I probably would swing more toward Virginia Tech. But I know this is a Virginia Tech team that can score, but I'm just so used to Virginia Tech dominating with defense and getting in a little bit of a funk and in these low-scoring games. So I'm going to go with I'm going to go with obviously Virginia Tech to win, but ODU plus the 28.5. Take the points. All right, Alabama and Vanderbilt. Alabama on the road at Vanderbilt. Given 19, 3-0 Vandy, 3-0 Alabama. Absolutely take Vanderbilt. This is their I mean, this is what they're up for. I'll take Vandy plus the 19. I'm just kidding. I'm going to take Alabama by 35. Alabama on the road makes another strong statement. Sorry, Vandy plays them tough in the first half, and Alabama pulls away in the second half. Take Alabama. They're too big, too strong. They will absolutely destroy Vanderbilt. Once a little bit goes wrong, Vanderbilt's going to realize that 3-0 is not the same 3-0 as Alabama. Take Bama on the road. Give the points. TCU and Oklahoma State. This is actually the game of the day, and we've got this up on the thumbnail. So I'm glad you guys agree with that. I'm glad that's a solid, well accepted prediction there. TCU and Oklahoma State, I think is going to be the game of the day. I know Oklahoma State is unbelievable, 13-point favorite. This is going to be a shootout. Oklahoma State wins, but much, much closer than all the experts think. This is a last possession game. I'm taking Oklahoma State by the only field goal that's going to be kicked in the game. I think it's going to be back and forth, up and down the field, touchdown city. 59-56 Oklahoma State. Write it down. 59-56. What's up, little T? Little Tommy in the house. All right, we're going to move on to Miami. Miami and Toledo. I'm taking Toledo. And you know what? I would take the money line on this one. I'm going to take Toledo to go down and win against Miami. Miami's a 13-point favorite. I am still not sold on Miami. Toledo is 3-0. They always have a good squad down there. Toledo goes in, pulls off the upset outright. Write it down. Toledo 27, Miami 21. That's my upset of the day right there. I'm going out on a limb. You know what? All these 10, 12, 13-point games, I'm going to do it. All right, moving on. Let's get to the next topic. I know it's a lot to go out on a limb for a 13-point dog, but somebody's got to do it. This one is another potential upset. Michigan at Purdue. Michigan given 10.5 on the road. Tough place to play in Purdue. Michigan gets a scare here. But they get the win. 21-20, Michigan. Do not cover. Not even close. In fact, Tommy, this is going to be a game that you're going to be sweating out till the very end. But it's going to be a game that is good for Michigan because they need that punch in the mouth right now, that wake-up call. Purdue goes out, gets out to an early lead. Harbaugh gets the group rallied at halftime. Michigan pulls off a late comeback. They don't cover, though. Stay away from this game. It's a tough game. It's a rival. It's on the road. It's not in the big house. Take the points with Purdue. You'll feel good. You'll feel good in the fourth quarter if you're sitting on 10 points. Trust me. Because you're probably going to be sitting on 10 points plus have about a 3-point lead. So you're going to be like, this is pretty good. Unless something crazy happens, they score 2 late touchdowns, I'm good to go. Michigan wins but doesn't cover. Nevada, Washington State, nobody cares. Nevada's 0-3, Washington State 3-0. 28.5 seems low to me. Washington State by 40 against Nevada. Statement game. Here, I'm going to give you guys a score. I want you to write this down. Let's see, we'll have a failed 2-point. 59-19. That's an odd score. Let's go with it. 59-19. Complete blowout. Oklahoma at Baylor. 3-0 Oklahoma, 0-3 Baylor. 28 points. The only thing that I'm worried about here is how much does Oklahoma even care? You know, do they care so much they get up by 35 and start resting people? Nope, they don't. Oklahoma puts up 70 on Baylor. 70-21. Do you see a trend here? You look at these totals and go over the totals on some of these games. It's going to be a lot of scoring today. And this is actually the game of the week. I should have put this up there. Mississippi State and Georgia, 3-0, 3-0. Georgia is only a 3.5-point favorite at home. Now, I'm taking Georgia. I'm taking Georgia to win by 7 at home. If it was at Mississippi State, I would take Mississippi State to win by 10. But I'm taking Georgia at home by a touchdown. Not a lot of scoring in this game. 17-10, Georgia. Way, way, way under the total. Syracuse at LSU. I got a feeling this is going to be an angry LSU team. But it is also a nationally televised game in the most hostile place in the country. Syracuse does not know what they're getting themselves into, but it is 22 points. I don't know that LSU can beat them by 22 points, to be perfectly honest with you. I think they can dominate them, but a dominating game at Death Valley in LSU would be 19-3. That's a dominating game. And 26-10 would be a dominating game. And that's what the final score is, 26-10. LSU does not cover the spread. (26-3), they're covering the spread. Syracuse gets a garbage touchdown at the end and heartbreaks everybody. That's how this game's going to play out. You're given 22 points. You're going to be up by 23 points. And then Syracuse gets a garbage touchdown and heartbreaks you. Best to stay away from that one. San Diego State and Air Force. This is going to be a good one, too. San Diego State 3-0, Air Force 1-1. At the Air Force, San Diego State loses. Air Force pulls out a mild upset. It's only a 3-point. But I'm not betting against Air Force at home. Florida at Kentucky. 1-1 Florida against 3-0 Kentucky. This is an interesting game. So you know what? I'm gonna stop here and I'm gonna let you guys pick this one. And I know everybody's gonna pick Florida. But Florida's only 2.5-point favorite. So there's a reason why they're only 2.5-point favorite. So it looks like all the good games tonight are in the SEC. You got Florida at Kentucky, and you got Mississippi State at Georgia. But something in my mind does not let me see Kentucky 4-0 and Florida at 1-2. Can you imagine the headlines tomorrow? Kentucky 4-0, Florida 1-2. Only because of that, I'm going to say Florida wins. I don't know that Florida is that good. Sorry, Kel. I know she's not going to want to hear that. Florida 21-20. They pull it out at the end. Kentucky goes to 3-1. Florida goes to 2-1. Saves their season. Auburn at Missouri. Missouri will play them tough. Auburn wins. Missouri covers the spread, 17.5. And Penn State at Iowa. Penn State given 12. Here you go. Another upset. Write this down, everybody. Penn State at Iowa. 28-17, Iowa. Iowa storms the field. Tommy, I'm sorry. I hate it. Another trap game. He hates me. He hates me when I pick when I pick against his in-state teams. I'm taking Iowa at home. This is the upset of the day. And you know, it's going to be like that when Philadelphia went into Kansas City, right? And I almost picked a score, like I picked the exact spread, and it was like, oh man, I hate picking against people that I know like those teams a lot, but I'm kind of neutral. I'm taking Iowa. I'm taking Iowa with a big upset at home. I mean, this is prime time. Number 4 team in the country comes in. You're a dog at night, 7:30. The lights on. It's like Field of Dreams, man. Iowa in a big upset. Let me move on before all my Pennsylvania fans get pissed off. All right, Oregon at Arizona State. Oregon 3-0, Arizona State. 14.5. Take the over in this game. It doesn't matter if it's 90. Take the over. It's just going to be back and forth. Washington at Colorado, once again, 3-0 against 3-0. Washington given 11 points. Colorado, in my opinion, a little bit underrated. This is a good statement game for Colorado to play them tough. Not picking this one either. I know these point spreads look like a lot because these teams are ranked, but at the same time, you can't underestimate home field advantage in these marquee matchup games. Iowa's a good football team, and it only takes 1 or 2 breaks to really get those guys fired up. We're going to do NFL chat tomorrow. And Tommy, if I'm wrong about this, I'm gonna find the Penn State theme song and I'm gonna sing it during the NFL thing, during the NFL broadcast tomorrow. I feel very, very strong that Iowa's going to pull this out. And that's the last one. Washington and Colorado. That's the last one of the day. Once again, yeah, that's another game like that Penn State game. You got a ranked opponent going into a tough environment, going into Boulder, given 11 points. They're more than a touchdown favorite. It's going to be tough. And, you know, with so many high point spreads today, you got to look at the potential upset. So here's what I'm going to do. Of all the games I mentioned, and you can't pick a 3-point favorite, I want you to tell me a team today that is more than a 10-point underdog that you think is going to pull off the upset. So I know I got to get you thinking a little bit. So I'll give you a few examples. So one of these teams, which one do you think is most likely to pull the upset? Obviously UNLV isn't going to beat Ohio State. North Carolina State at Florida State getting 10.5. Vandy against Alabama at home getting 19. TCU at Oklahoma State getting 13. Toledo at Miami getting 13. Michigan at Purdue. Purdue getting 10.5. Penn State at Iowa. Iowa getting 12 points at home. Arizona State getting 14.5 against Oregon, and Colorado getting 11 points against Washington. Which one of those teams do you think is most likely to pull the upset? That is where we're going to wind down the stream, and we'll leave it open for some open comments once I see a few of your predictions. Also, just want to give a couple special shout-outs. Appreciate all you guys being here. This is going to be our regular Saturday morning broadcast time. Hey, thanks, Tommy. I'll see you tomorrow, hopefully, for the NFL chat. Thanks for popping in, man. Hey, I see Steph snuck in. Hey, Steph. And also Salem Blue. Appreciate you guys popping in here. Pick me a quick upset, and then we'll ask one more follow-up question, and we're going to wind this thing down. Yeah, I picked a couple, so I've got like 2 or 3 out there that I think potentially can happen. I've been wrong before. And especially with college football. With college football, the tide can turn in those games so quickly. Salem Blue is going for Toledo. Toledo is one of the ones I picked as well. Actually, I think Toledo is going to go down and give Miami all they can handle either way. And I mean, Penn State may run the ball all over Iowa, but you got those farm kids down in Iowa. They play some tough football, especially in this primetime type of game. Couple people. Deathclaw says Toledo as well. All right, and the last question I'm going to ask you guys is, if you have one game to watch today out of the whole slate of games, could be your team, could be a game that you think is the best matchup, let me know which game you're most looking forward to today. I'm kind of looking forward to that Mississippi State-Georgia game. I just think that's going to be close all the way through. Salem is looking for the Gators to go into Kentucky. Tough matchup, man. Tough matchup. Kentucky undefeated. I said I can't imagine Florida being 1-2 and Kentucky being 4-0. If that happens, it's going to be a lot of call for some firings tomorrow. I know Ann's looking forward to the Virginia Tech game. Doesn't matter who they play. Virginia Tech and ODU. ODU might give them a good half. All right, everybody. We're going to wind this down. Once again, I appreciate all of you guys being here. This is going to be a very static broadcast all throughout the college football season. So Saturday mornings, this is our Saturday morning stream. We're also going to do the same thing. Tomorrow morning, we got Chill with Kills at 11 o'clock. Just a little bit of gaming talk. And then 12 o'clock, we'll do our NFL lineups, talk a little bit about fantasy football. And then tomorrow night, we're going to do a Walking Dead broadcast as well. So a lot of stuff scheduled for tomorrow. Thanks. Appreciate all you guys being a part of 999 Sports. Tell some people about it. Let's get a few more people hyped up and get them into the football chat. Sometime next week, we are going to start to talk about postseason baseball as well. I know some people have requested that. Looking forward to it, just to talk about a little bit of our playoff predictions. My name's Killshot. Thanks, everybody. A few quick shout-outs. Say hello to everybody. And Salem Blue, thanks for being here. Deathclaw, Steph Richardson, Tommy in the house. Also, who else popped in here? I saw Chip Smith as well. And I know Ann Hodge was in here. And to those of you that are watching playback, leave your thoughts and comments below. Talk to you all soon. Peace.